In the world of ReZero, we have become dangerously complacent. We're used to death. As a pause button, a reset that allows for another try. But as the Watchtower arc begins, that safety net disappears. I had a feeling it would be Subaru's last dance. The white light from the Pleiade Watchtower is more than a weapon. It eliminates you before you know where it is. In the first two loops, Subaru is caught in a frantic montage of confusion. He believed the worst was behind him after Season 3. He was wrong. The third loop, however, challenged the very nature of a story. In anime, characters are usually bound by the invisible rules of the script and only move within the lines. Emilia has no memory of the previous loops. She has no memory of Subaru's corpses or the sudden light. Yet, at this moment, she breaks the wall between the character and the author. By shouting Sasenai and building her ice barrier, she's blocking a magical sniper and declaring a war against the invisible law that says she must remain ignorant. She's a puppet who has sensed the strings and choosing to pull back. The cinematography captures perfectly. The camera lingers as the light pierces eyes layer by layer, stopping just inches from Subaru's eyes. A single tear falls. Emilia doesn't need to understand the logic of the wall to know that the man she loves has reached his limit. This is Subaru's final call. The miasma in the underground tunnel is the poison. It doesn't turn Subaru into something he isn't. It strips away the heroic facade to reveal the truth beneath. In reality, the devil's in the details, success in the invisible, the ability to read nonverbal cues and navigate the unwritten contracts that separates the winners from the losers. Subaru was born drafted on the losing side of class war. In the isekai, he wore his weird, ugly jackets like armor. Upon this rock, he built his monument. But the past is a debt that eventually demands repayment. Consider Prince Philip from The Crown. He was everything a boy like Subaru and perhaps many of you envies. He was handsome, charming, well-born, a war hero, and a pilot. He was ultimate alpha male, living a life of high society orgies and endless sexual conquests that most anime fans only see on screen. Yet, when cornered by scandal and forced into the rigid set of monarchy, he was as desperate and helpless as Subaru.
We all tell ourselves all sorts of things to make sense of the past. So much so that our fabrications, if we tell them to ourselves often enough, become the truth.
The miasma brings the old Subaru back. It is the return of the self-hating, whining, hopeless losers who just wants
a mommy you can slide your dick in and out.
It is the realization that, as Matt Murdock says in Daredevil,
I think we come into this world who we are, and maybe we get a little nicer or a little angrier, but we can't change our fundamental nature.
We love Subaru because he's imperfect, whether we're needs, princess, jigs, jocks, rich, poor, men, women. Our lives are but brief flashes in a universe that is billions of years old. It doesn't matter what we did in the past or how we'll be remembered. Subaru becomes a hero because he chooses to act like one, even while the loser inside him is screaming to let go. Hayao Miyazaki famously dismissed voice actors as prostitutes of voice. He spent his life craving a natural sound that anime was never meant to provide. But anime is not reality. To be the movie, anime must admit its own nature. It must embrace the lines, the exaggerated frames, and the stylized breaths. Just as we must accept our past to have a future, anime must accept its own limits to transcend them. When it tries to mimic natural cinema, it becomes a poor copy. Beneath the operatic horror of Miasma, ReZero creates one of the most grotesque psychological spaces in the media. It is a fevered melodrama of cadaverous romance and rotten insanity. At its center are two elements of genius: the performances of Yusuke Kobayashi and Lee Murakawa. Kobayashi gives us a Brando-esque outpouring of rage and grief. Like Marlon Brando in Last Tango in Paris, confronting the body of a wife who abandoned him through suicide. Kobayashi mourns his own lost heroine in a visceral display of human wreckage. He is drowning in emotions as he chokes Lamu and eventually flings the twitching, disemboweled torso of Anastasia away like a grenade. His voice reaches the pitch of desperation that natural acting would find embarrassing. Beside him, Murakawa provides a chilling foil. She offers no safety net. There's only a cold, judgmental clarity. She speaks with authority of someone who has already seen the fraud beneath Subaru's skin. By using the very theatricality Miyazaki loves, these actors achieve the truth no live-action lens could ever focus on. They proved it. Out of the fake comes the authenticity. Lamu speaks like a tsundere, looks like a tsundere, and thinks like a tsundere. These days, audience only use characters who don't instantly cater to that, so she can feel like a relic, just another tsundere. But you're wrong. For her, Balus is not a quirk. She possesses the divine protection of clairvoyance, an ability that allows her to see through the eyes of others miles away. But her true sight is internal. She sees right through Subaru's facade. She has never been fooled by his heroic posturing. Not even for a second. She knew who he was and what he represented. Yet, in the final minute of her life, she stands beneath Subaru and the flaming centaur. It is all for Lamu. This is the ultimate manifestation of the weight of the invisible. Lamu has been erased from the world's memory. Rationally, Lamu has no sister. There are no records, no memories, no evidence. But Lamu possesses a bond that transcends the logic of the world. The kind of hidden truths that winners regard and losers ignore. With those words, she proved that you can bury the truth, but you can't kill it. Power rewrites the past, and most people make their peace. Lamu doesn't. To her, the truth doesn't bend. Her clairvoyance sees far and sees through. There are times when the only rational thing to do is to be irrational. When the white light finally strikes, revealing Shavla, a girl who has been waiting centuries just to say I found you, the transition from a psychological horror to an epic myth is complete. Subaru was NEET, the universe created just to eat. But as he stands his ground, uses his unseen hand, a little realization of the non-verbal power he once lacked, to snap the centaur spear, he becomes a hero. Like a woman, one is not born a hero, but becomes one. You simply have to accept your fears and live with your regrets. Alone.